The live thingy is up. Well, it's up over here. There for me, right there.
Yeah. Over there.
Okay, I think we're live. Yay!
Woohoo!
We are a little late due to having to troubleshoot our own technical difficulties. Now,
Which we managed.
Yes.
We are here.
Yes. Now I'm wondering. Well, I don't know. Stephanie wanted to attend but wasn't sure.
Okay.
So, can I send her a link? If so, what would I send her?
You could just send her a link to your channel, I think, to your YouTube channel, because it will be live streaming on your YouTube channel.
Let's see. Oh, it's going to make a noise. Maybe? No, good, not.
All right.
Okay, it does say it is showing that it's going on.
Ah, okay, and Stephanie is here.
Oh, is she? Oh, fabulous. I guess I don't have to send her the link then.
Okay.
Hey,
welcome, Stephanie.
We made it. She's multitasking. Stephanie, do you ever not multitask?
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Oh, and we all welcomed her. I'm feeling a bit like a multiple personality going, that we've got the three, and they all said welcome.
Right, because it's whatever goes in has to go into all three comment streams.
Okay, cool. That's fun.
At least that's what I'm assuming.
Oh, I see Stephanie's comment. Nope, she never doesn't multitask, and I know.
Ah, okay, we can.
Amazing like that.
We do have comment control. If you want to make a comment,
oh, I see. It says all.
One channel.
Got it. So I can comment as me. Hiya.
Or as God.
All. Okay. Such fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's
cool.
Just all sort of buttons. Cool. I'm going to quit pushing buttons. So how shall we begin here?
Well, let's see. Do we want to do a little review in case folks are watching this? Because I did have people tell me they watched it afterward.
Yes, I had a few people, strangers.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Uh-huh. I told my teenager that, part of the job for Gen Z is to come up with a word for people that we correspond with every day online whom we will never meet in real life, but we consider friends anyway.
Yes. Would they be Vens? Virtual friends?
Oh, interesting.
Veens? No, like Veens. Instead of fiends, they're Veens.
It's under consideration, apparently.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yes, I think a review would be great, especially for people tuning in after this is done, which there are going to be lots of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Let's think positive. Sure.
Yes, please. Okay, so this is our second exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Can we call it ekphrastic? That's such a lovely word.
It is such a lovely word.
I wasn't sure. First got acquainted with the that show in Kansas City that I did the Pelican for. And that's what they titled it, was ekphrasis. So I'm like, well, this is kind of an ekphrastic exchange or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the Columbia Art League shows and
the interpretations, the original ekphrastic adventure. Yes. What got me started in all this. So yes, we did one earlier. Now I did the Ora Pendula, and I can show that.
Yes,
theory.
Please. Show the work.
Let's see. Can I do? I'm looking at. Well, how do I show you my screen?
That would be one of the other little icon things down there.
I see new layouts, Shift F5, F6, cinema layout. Do I want?
Feel free to mess with any of that.
Let's see. I'm going to push one. What happens when I do nothing? Share. Share screen.
Share screen, share screen, share screen, share screen.
Ooh, it does a whole lot of things. Chrome tab. I want this one. Share. Is it sharing?
Woo, it is.
Okay, so there's the Oropendola I did based on your Casper Oropendola writing. Colored pencils on this black paper, which I absolutely love. It doesn't quite in real life have the punch that this screenshot has of it, unfortunately. So I'm kind of, like, okay, if I do another one, how am I going to punch that up? And I do not know yet. So there it is. All right. Do I stop sharing? Let's try that. See what happens.
And then we come back.
And there we are. Okay, good. I couldn't see anything because it took me to a different screen. So I'm like, I'm flying blind.
Right.
This is great. Just close my eyes. All right. And so what about yours?
Okay. So Hope Martin is, as I gestured toward Hope, who's sharing the screen with me. Hope Martin is a visual artist. I am a paranormal cozy mystery writer. Hope and I have known each other a long time in a variety of contexts. The ekphrastic stuff that we're talking about, we've previously both been parts of art shows that paired writers and artists to use each other as inspiration springboards. And with that process is actually called ekphrasis and goes all the way back to ancient Greece and probably other parts of the world at other times as well. So last year, Hope approached me and said, do you want to try to do something like that? Like just the two of us? And I said, sure. So the mystery series I write is set in Casper, Missouri, which is a college town and cosmic crossroads. Casper is a place where parallel worlds intersect and are visible one into another, but there's not much interaction among those worlds. Casper's pretty well sealed. You can see, but you can't touch, kind of thing. And so I sent Hope a description of one of the other universes that kind of drifts through our world's Casper, or, the book world's Casper. Since Casper doesn't exist in our world, I have to remind myself of that.
Right.
And that's where the Oropendola came from, that Hope was just showing you. And then I took for inspiration one of the sets of sketches that Hope has already done, her Haunted Woods series.
Yes.
And then just as I had written up a little something about the Oropendola that Hope did the beautiful sketch of, then I wrote up something in response to Hope's Haunted Woods series. And Hope, do you want to show them your Haunted Woods?
Sure. Let me pull that up. So let's see if I go to share.
Now that you've got now that you've got the screen share trick for the Haunted Woods.
Yes. So not that one. I want. Well, now I have all these tabs open. What's it called? Photo in.
And you should know, Hope and I are very proud of ourselves for figuring out how to do live streams together. And the teenagers in our lives all think it is ridiculously hilarious that we are so stinking proud of ourselves.
That's right. All right. Is it working?
I see it. Yes.
There we go. Okay. Now it's showing me I'm back where I can see things now. So you can kind of see one of the sketchbook spreads. And
yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's one of those are, you've got more Haunted Woods pieces also.
There are a few here and there. Yeah. And they've just kind of started as just a sketching exercise. And then these little guys started showing up, cat-shaped things that you wrote about so wonderfully. I was tickled. That was so cool.
Yep. The little tricksters in the woods.
Yes.
Yep. Well, fun. So we did an exchange in summer 2021 with those pieces. And then I spent the live stream kind of reading we did our live stream at the end of that exchange.
Right.
We are going to do another exchange, and this live stream is at the top of the exchange. So we haven't done anything with the new exchange yet, except that I've identified a work of Hope's that I want to write about, and I have given Hope a very basic topic that I will be writing up for her this week.
That was the funniest comment.
So can I show them? Yeah, go ahead and show them the piece that I will be working on.
All right, let's see.
And feel free to tell us what you know of this piece.
Okay, of the piece that I did, yes, I definitely can share a lot with that. Let me pull it up. I actually have it ready here.
So I'll be writing up an entry, and we've fictionalized these as entries for the Casper Convention and Visitors Bureau Ghostly Plants and Ghostly Wildlife Guides. Ooh. So Casper's paranormal tourists can all come and see this stuff as it kind of fades in and out from other universes.
I'm so excited about that. So hopefully you can see on the screen there the imperative constraint piece, and the title for this one actually came from Stephanie's husband.
Okay.
It was his idea. I couldn't think of what to name it. This was for the one read that the library did. So the theme was confinement, and it's based on or inspired by the Amortol's book, A Gentleman in Moscow. Let's see if I can find a bigger one. These are kind of upside down. Because this is actually, I like it best this way, but everyone I talked to said, no, it looks better the other way. So I ended up flipping it around. But this kind of evolved over a series of images and thinking about confinement, being confined for your own good kind of thing. So I'm out there with the chickens going, well, they're kind of confined for their own good. And I had taken this picture of the chicken wire. We go back to all of them here, and I can show you maybe. Well, you'll see a lot of pictures scrolling by. I do a lot of process shots as I go. Okay, here it is.
Fantastic.
This is the reference that I compiled. So the background is a picture of the chicken wire with the dewdrops, which attracted my attention, and that is a chrysalis that I found out in the chicken coop one day, and then superimposed on top, you can just kind of see that Fibonacci spiral in there. So that's what I started with. And then as I go through, I'm thinking a chrysalis is a sort of confinement. It's a choice. They don't have a choice. They have to go through this, right? This is written into their genes. They couldn't stop it if they wanted to. But so that kind of, was working on that confinement theme. Did some sketching, rough sketching, playing with the form and the values in there to see for color, if I can get that to read in a two-dimensional way, trying to get those little dewdrops in there without going mad. There was a lot of them.
Yeah.
And here's the sketch on better paper where it's getting bigger, and I started reducing the number of the wires in there to coincide with the dimensions of that Fibonacci spiral. Kind of thinking about, some of our confinement issues are, they're internally made. We're confined by our own choosing sometimes. This is the steps working through that, playing with the spider web in there, making it simpler. Continuing on through here. So here it is, starting with the underpainting in the final thing, and it still was going through changes at this point where I'm like, well, what if, I do different colored backgrounds, or trying different backgrounds there. There's both of them together. Which one's going to read like I want? I like to play with contrasting colors there. Here it is in the values. Starting to build it up here, and the different underpaintings will give it a different look. And playing with that, I'm trying to get to the point where I started thinking, well, what if those, here we go, the one on the right there, the pink, you can see there's fewer and fewer dewdrops in there. I'm like, okay, do I really need all of those? What can I leave out? And then you get here, and I'm starting to strategically place them in reference to things. And after a while, I settled on just a few. Oh, and there you can see my sweet kitty helping me out. She was such a great help.
Oh yeah.
Ended up settling on. I did the blue. I actually did the pink. Was an oops. Let me fast forward here. Here you can see where I settled on a very strategic placing of those little dewdrops or air bubbles, depending on how they look to you. Maybe you can see the reference there. The 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. So I was like, ooh. So I ended up going with that. But it just kind of continued even after I'd settled on all the colors. I'd settled on what I was doing. That was a last thing. And then also taking those spider webs and using them to come out from the spines on this chrysalis, which I think is a morning cloak chrysalis, if I remember correctly, though they are not bright pink.
Okay.
I like that pink against that kind of teal and green and blue. I just love those colors. So that's kind of the process. There is in its final.
I've read some Amortolls. I haven't read that book, but I've read other Amortolls.
I need to finish reading it. I kind of stopped. I need to get back to it because at the time when I did this, I had not read much of it. So I was really playing superficially with these concepts of confinement, and what that meant.
Remind me again, which Toll's title?
A Gentleman in Moscow.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got myself a used copy from our local used book purveyor, Yellow Dog, downtown. And one more thing about the final piece. I don't know if you can tell from the image. Can I zoom in, and will it zoom in for you guys? Probably. Oh, it doesn't show on this piece. Where is I actually wired into the frame. Just wanted to make sure it stayed put and stayed flat. And so I actually drilled holes.
Okay.
In it and used some wire just to kind of further I guess convey that feeling of confinement and constraint. And so that was the first one I've done where I was really happy with the outcome, not just being a direct interpretation of a scene or something. It's like I felt like, okay, I may have gone a little beyond. Maybe it's very hard. It's a hard thing for me to do. I've not done a lot of it.
Well, I thought it was really neat. When I looked at it on your website yesterday, as I was just kind of looking through, I knew I had seen several pieces that I had thought it would be fun to work on. And I saw that one and I just thought, ooh, for all of Casper's ghostly mystique, for all of the, for a place where literally anything can happen, that seemed like something I would like to help make happen in Casper. And it's fascinating that it started with a chrysalis on a chicken coop and an Amortolls novel. I love it.
Who knew those things had anything in common, right?
Yep.
I was just looking over at Stephanie's comments, which she's got some great ones as usual. Seeing the comma and pausing and a forced pause, which definitely, that's what it was. Or in the case of the chrysalis and in the character in the book, they had a forced pause, definitely. Thank you, Stephanie. So it's just a weird one. I look at it beside all the other stuff and I'm just like, that's weird. Yeah, I did that.
Yep. Which would explain the draw for me.
And I do love surrealism.
Sure.
I've never felt comfortable doing it. So maybe I will now.
Well, and I think it's what you described is fascinating. And I think if we had Marguerite here, he would probably be willing to talk us through, like, how do you get to a giant pear? How do you get to a guy who's invisible and the hat's up here? Every artist process is their own.
Yeah.
But it all begins in the world we know in some way. Very cool. Very, very cool. So yes, I will be then writing up something for the Casper Wildlife Guide from Hope's work. And then in turn, I'm going to write up a piece for Hope. Hope is going to get to create some sentient kelp for you all.
How do you feel about writing about sentient kelp?
I'm excited.
I am too now, but at first, my first thought was, well, there's something I've never thought of.
In the mall. Sentient kelp in the mall.
In the mall. Ooh,
in the mall.
Even better.
It's part of the universe that Octavia the Octopus Crossing Guard is part of. So
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm gonna go completely under the sea here.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I'm discovering as I go back, and I looked back over all those materials this week, that I've proposed in the the little officious little bureaucratic précis that goes with each of these entries, that there is a larger guide that catalogs all of the yes, Stephanie, yes, you're hearing that correctly. Sentient kelp in the mall. Yep. That's
it is.
You never know. But that it's been so fun to create this notion that there's a ghostly plant guide and there's a ghostly wildlife guide, and that they're both sort of extractives for general readership out of the more academic tome that is the encyclopedic listing of all of the ghostly universes that have been documented as intersecting with Castor. And I'm realizing that larger encyclopedic tome only kind of exists up here in peace. And some of them kind of mutually contradictory pieces. So this is a kind of fun way of keeping me honest about the mythos I'm creating around Casper. Because no, that's this universe. That's it. And that's this one over here. And I have an adorable cat who's now watching me make hand gestures.
Suddenly, a cat comes flying through the air.
Well, they all love this painting back here. So
yes, we all do.
Our little 7-pounder tried to climb the painting earlier this week while I was on a Zoom call with somebody.
Of course.
Exciting. I know. And in fact, in another writer thing, I was talking about a possible Atlantis kind of scenario with a private investigator who had an office above a bar, and that's I think Harper Kincaid gets credit for saying, so this would be like Pirates of the Caribbean meets SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm like, all right, so when you put it that way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
As long as I have to draw SpongeBob.
No, I will not make you draw SpongeBob. Nope. And I don't know. I've only ever seen clips of SpongeBob. I don't think there's any sentient kelp in SpongeBob. Could be wrong.
I've not watched a lot of it, but I don't think so.
It's there. Kelp is there.
Yes. But it was never sentient. Interesting. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting journey. I'll definitely I'll definitely make a link, and I do got links. I do have. Wow, English is my language here. I have a link to videos on my channel where I've done time lapse of that that work. Let's see. Can I put it in? Let's see. The time lapse video. I guess I can put it in the comments. We'll see how that goes. So that.
Okay.
I don't know if you can click. I can't. If I click on it, it's just going to show it, which looks like garbage.
Okay.
But perhaps that will link. If I click again, it says put user in timeout. Yeah, put myself in timeout. No. Uh-oh. Mara runs off camera to save the cat. Or something.
we've reached the mommy's not paying attention to me, so I'm going to start knocking things off the table stage.
Wow, she's been very patient, or he's been very patient.
He is. He's the cat boy I can allow down here while I'm trying to actually do work things. The others are, no.
Don't even come. No.
Again, the little bit figured out how to move pictures on the wall this week, and she's like, "Hey guys, did you know parts of the wall move if you do this?"
Yes. Oh, lovely, 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 lovely. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've had the experience of walking in a kelp forest in the ocean once in my life. It was a high school trip to France. We went to the beach at Saint Malo, and the whole first 20 feet of ocean were all just these kelp forest shallows. And it was this incredibly surreal atmosphere. So that's where the inspiration for the sentient kelp came from.
Get out of my fronds.
Waving, and you're walking through it, and it's just kind of petting you as you go through.
Hadn't thought of it that way, but okay, yeah. Being petted by sea kelp.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's strange. There was some. That's reminding me of something I've listened to. I think it was a podcast story where there was an alien, and they like to pet people too.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a thing.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, we like to pet the cats and the dogs.
Well, yeah. Cats like it too. Mm-hmm. Yep. It was kind of along those lines. I can see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to have fun. This will be our exchange. We'll do another live stream at the end of the exchange. Yes. Hope can talk more about her process, kind of manifesting the sentient kelp on paper.
How to do that.
And I will read you the bits I come up with, both about the kelp and what I come up with in response to imperative constraint. Hope's beautiful painting. Or it's not a painting, is it a pastel?
Depends on who you ask. Okay. There's a big body of, a big group of groups, International Association of Pastel Societies, right? Mm-hmm. And they define it as a painting if you can't see the paper under it anymore.
What did I tell you? They all love the painting behind you. So even our sweet boy, most likely to be best behaved, even he is now desperate enough for mommy attention that he is gonna.
I see it. I'm just walking by.
Yep.
La 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 la.
He's our little bear cub, right?
Sweetie.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, YouTube. This is another of the cats. He's being much more polite than his brother. The time I let his brother down here, his brother attempted to eat bits off of the painting while I was talking, and then turned and kind of mugged at the camera.
Yeah. I can totally see that.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think it will be fun. I think it'll be a kind of neat project. It's a nice sideways way for me to come at all the underlying mythos of Casper and to think more analytically than narratively about what I'm creating. So it's a neat perspective. So then when I'm in the story, then more of these ambient details are established, instead of, what was I writing about? Now, where
what did I say last time? Oh, yeah.
Right. It's that kind of thing.
I'm definitely looking forward to the opposite side of that is pulling them and making them visual, that is a different exercise, and to pull something completely out of your head is, for me, is very difficult. Having a reference, right there, here, this is what I'm trying to do, this right here. you know, like a leaf or a this or a that, and but then starting to combine things in a way is a fun challenge, you know, especially starting with words. So yeah, I'm very looking forward to that.
We have to keep the cat in frame. I mean,
yeah,
right?
We do. Get his best side, sure.
Especially since it kind of looks like he's sitting on my shoulder over here. Yeah.
The devil on your shoulder.
No, he'd be the angel, wouldn't you, baby? You're the angel. Yeah.
Angel with the crooked halo.
Oh, you're gonna be lovely.
Chucking that halo at you, hitting the back of the head with it. Doink.
All right. Anything else you can think of, Hope, that we should tell the good folks about what we're up to?
Not that I can think of. I probably will as soon as we sign off. I'll think, oh, we should have said, you know,
timeline 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
like we did before.
Yeah, all things considered, you know, life. What's the word? If life cooperates, you know, we'll 6 to 8 weeks. But yeah, no, we're gonna keep this like all secret until we're done, and then you know,
we kind of did last time, but of course we're still learning our way around different indie writer, indie artist promotional channels. So what are your thoughts? Should we update folks in between now and then on social media? Should we wait and do the big reveal?
I think keeping it simple is gonna
simple is good.
Simple is good for our complex lives. This time, you know, maybe next time, see about, we'll have a halfway reveal what we've done kind of thing. If we do something, maybe if it takes longer, or we can say, you know, definitely 6 to 8 weeks, no matter where we are, we're going to stop and share. That would, you know, maybe that would be the way to go. Goal is to have it done, but should life make other plans for us, like it usually does?
Yes. And it would be fun to do, you know, we had done one of these this summer and then anticipated doing one again, I think sooner than we have, but we are doing one again.
We got here, it just took longer. The trip here was a little different than planned, but
yes. Which I think is a pandemic thing for everybody.
Yeah, it is.
I know very few people who are.
Let's see, this is February, so maybe middle of April? I don't carry a calendar here, so
early-ish April, sure.
April. Okay.
Should work.
I don't think I have. I have to look at my calendar, but I don't think I have anything going on that would make that not work. But I don't have anything planned. That doesn't take into account the unplanned. Sweet boy. So yeah. Okay. So we'll keep it secret, hush hush, until early April. We'll have another one of these and reveal either the finished product or what we've done.
Sounds good. And as for getting you a little more narrative around the sentient kelp, a little more context, I will flip that over to you in the next week.
Okay. I'll start looking at pictures of kelp and learning about kelp. I don't think I'll be able to walk through anytime soon, sadly. That would be a fun adventure, but I'll have to rely on yours for that.
There's if you've done some swimming at Stevens Lake, the moss down at the bottom, that's kind of there's a little bit of similarity there.
Well, I've been in the ocean, you know, in California, and I've been, you know, boogie boarding kind of thing. So I've felt it on my legs, you know, which is always freaks you out when you don't expect it. But I've not, you know, walked between them on the bottom. It's always at the top.
Yep.
They were tickling my feet as I went by. So
very cool. All right, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. One last look at the cat. Everybody needs
Kitty.
Pull back and stop trying to eat things off the painting.
Yeah, please don't eat the painting. We love it. Stephanie asks, "Is there kelp in Hawaii?" I have no idea. I'm assuming so.
Interesting question. I don't know. It does better in more stagnant water, I think is the idea. Because the beach at San Malo was, it might have been a beach on the English Channel rather than like true ocean or however you want to categorize that.
Let's see. Google says the main islands have several established invasive seaweeds, but the remote northwest cases in the remote northwest are rare. Blah blah. So,
okay. So we're all going to learn more about kelp here.
We're going to learn more about kelp. Apparently, the native edible seaweed. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. Usually found on the islands of Hawaii, Maui, and Kauai.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Thick mat-like spreads. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yes, cursory inspection seems to say that yes, it does grow in Hawaii.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Have fun, Stephanie.
Don't get lost in the kelp. Should they try and pet you and take you home?
Reminded me of other places to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's it that I've got for today. Hey, Jade. A friend of mine just showed up.
Yay.
Jade, there's her.
Jade.
She is Hershey. I met Jade at the Cedar Creek, the therapy horse place. Yes. I'll be going back there soon. Does it start this month? I have to check my calendar. I put it on the calendars so I can check it regularly. Yep. Well, it's good to see you, Jade. I'm glad you could stop by. We're getting ready to kind of hang it up here. So the recording will be available to listen to. You don't know Marta over here. Hi. Marta is a writer, and her 2 channels that she's got, if you're interested in doing any writing, Jade, and need some help, she has some wonderful content on her channels to walk you through step-by-step how to write a novel. Is it a full novel, Marta, or just a novella?
60,000 words is kind of baseline for a full novel.
Okay, yeah.
So, mm-hmm.
Oh, well, and great.
Now, having said that, we're going to be flooded with comments that are like, no, the baseline is 40,000 words. How could you say that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody breathe. The baseline, the break between novel and novella is 40,000 words, but a lot of novels, especially first novels, end up right around the 60,000 mark. So that's what I had folks shoot for as a draft.
And even if writing isn't your thing, she does some great book recommendations. I've picked up several books because of the recommendations that she's made, looking at very diverse authors, different backgrounds.
And I'm actually breaking the format now.
That's right.
After doing it every day for NaNoWriMo, and then taking a breather, I realized I stay on track better with a shorter video. So I'm going to be doing the edit your novel content videos separate from the book review videos, and then I'll just pop in book reviews as I have them ready. So
awesome. Yeah, they're great. I've really enjoyed them. What was the I can't even think of it now.
Master of Gin. You read
Master of Gin. Yes. Who writes that?
Fenderson Jelly Clark.
Yes. Yes. And those are wonderful. And then the little bitty books that he's got available that are kind of some story information was one. It was a quick read. Like I said, I was kind of sad when I was done. It's like, oh, now I'm done.
The audiobook narration is fantastic too.
Is it? Okay. And then so you're doing your alternating channels, you're doing your book recommendations. I've got weekly studio updates that come out Saturday publicly. And then Mondays, it'll come on Wednesdays. Wednesdays, Monday I sit down and just sketch something, anything just for me to kind of keep that going. And then that comes up available on Wednesdays and publicly. And then just whatever little videos that kind of come to mind. The one I'm thinking about next is DIY tools for soft pastels, because you can buy, tons of stuff, but sometimes you got to use what you've got. So I was going to share my favorite DIY tools. So there you go. We kind of talked about what we're doing on our channels. That's a good thing that we should be doing.
Stephanie, I do see your question about posting a link to my channel or channels. I'm having coordination issues figuring out how to pull that link without shutting down the live stream.
Let's see if I can include them real quick.
Okay. Oh, good. Oh, you've got. Okay. I'm just a little afraid of vanishing off.
Sure. So here is.
I initiated the broadcast. I'm not sure what happened to the rest of the broadcast if I went by.
Right. Whoops. And there she is. Okay. So there she is. That auto load video. I wish there was a better way to do that. So here is her sci-fi seminar link. We've got to get her up to 100 subscribers so that she can get a better URL.
Yay!
And then let's see. Then we have the magical mystery. Maybe if I can type magical mystery class. So here's probably going to come another. Shoosh. Let's see here. Let's see this. The other one is, I think, is the video link. Here is the channel link for the magical mystery class.
There.
So let's see. See, here's what we've got to get her. Once you get to 100 subscribers, it starts. You can choose it. And here's what mine looks like. So a little more intelligible by a brain.
Sure.
An organic brain.
Sure.
So we've got to get her to those. All right. So there's all 3 channels. We talked about what our channels are going to be doing, what we're doing. I think we're really good now.
Mm-hmm. And the cat has lost interest in painting. So there goes the great visual content.
Yes. We're just not as cute and fuzzy.
Who wants to watch a cat attack in abstract painting?
Yeah. What will we do without them? All righty then.
Shall we close out, folks?
Yeah. Thank you, Stephanie and Jade, for stopping by. Really, really appreciate it. We feel a little more like normal.
People.
Stephanie says thank you. Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
And we'll do this again early April. Maybe we'll figure it all out by then. Probably not, but we'll try. A little bit more. Not all of it.
I'm sure we will still be a source of amusement to the teenagers in our lives.
Oh, of course. That's what we live for, isn't it? All righty then. I think we are good. Thank you, Marta.
Okay.
This was a lot of fun.
I'm going to click end broadcast.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
Bye. Thank you, Stephanie.
Bye.
Thank you, Jade.
Bye, Jade.